set for baseball on a beautiful Friday evening in lower downtown Denver. The Rockies taking on the New York Mets over the next 3 days. The Mets in first place in the National League East. The Rockies coming off a nice 3-2 victory yesterday against the Washington Nationals. John Gray and his teammates take the field tonight. The Mets have been here since late Wednesday night. They had an off day yesterday after splitting a 2-game set at Camden Yards against the Baltimore Orioles. The Mets have been real hot. They've been cooled off a little bit of late by the Pirates and the Orioles. They've lost 4 of 5. That's Curtis Granderson, the former Yankee and Detroit Tiger. He will lead things off. Here's the Southwest lineup for Terry Collins tonight. In the 2 spot will be Daniel Murphy, a high-quality hitter. Then one of their acquisitions around the trade deadline, Yoenis Cespedes. Lucas Duda's got big pop, 9 home runs since the All-Star break, in fact. Wilmer Flores will bat 5th. Kelly Johnson, another one of those additions. He came from Atlanta. Travis d'Arnaud will be behind the plate. A good-looking rookie, and Michael Conforto will be in left field batting 8th. And then the ageless Bartolo Colon at 42. And John Gray making his 4th appearance. George, it's been fun to watch.
It has been fun to watch. The long-awaited arrival of the Big Okie. 15 innings, 14 strikeouts, and only 4 walks. Lefties have not been able to handle him right-handed. They've hit just .214 against him. I think it's going to be interesting here at Coors Field for him, and it's going to be interesting for Rockies fans to watch the continued growth of this young right-hander.
Take a look at the Rockies and how they'll align tonight behind John Gray. Brandon Barnes, it's his turn to play left field. Charlie Blackmon's in center. Cargo made that gorgeous catch in the 8th inning yesterday. He's in right field. Arenado's fielded more chances than anybody at third base in the National League. Jose Reyes, the longtime Met, at shortstop. DJ LeMahieu, Ben Paulson on the right side, and Nick Hundley doing the catching after we saw the Major League debut yesterday of Dustin Garneau. There's Reyes. Always special for him to take on the Mets. He still makes his off-season home on Long Island. And he's always in a good mood, and we've gotten to know him. You know, through the years we've gotten to know him, but obviously a lot better now that he's wearing a Rockies uniform. I don't know, he's having fun with somebody, but
Juan Uribe.
Oh, is that okay? As Granderson steps in, but you know, he's got most of his family here in Denver right now, 2 of his daughters, so makes it easier to get to the ballpark. First pitch of the ball game is in there for strike 1 at 93 on Granderson. And that just missed. Where real close. 1 ball, 1 strike. Granderson 0 for 3 with a strikeout when facing Gray. And this ball is lifted to Brandon Barnes in left field. 1 out. That'll bring up Daniel Murphy. Well, John Gray in 15 innings obviously hasn't given up much. The runs he's given up have come in the first couple of innings. In his last start, he gave up a run right out of the gate, single sac fly, and then he was nails after that. Here's Daniel Murphy. And that fastball is outside and away. Murphy's been swinging the bat well. 1-1. 338 for Murphy over his last 17 games, dating to the end of July. Despite this little slide of 4 out of 5 losses for the Mets, they're 11-6 in the month of August, and this is a rollover ground ball. Paulson will grab it and run to the bag. 2 outs. One of the things you keep track of, I know you do, George, is not just the strikeouts, those are the obvious ones, but the mishit balls.
A lot of mishit.
Rockies fans, join in on the conversation. Send us your thoughts, photos via Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Utilize the hashtag Toyota Talk, and we'll get as many as we can on the air. Tonight is a Fan Friday. We'll hear from Mark Stout in a little bit. 2 outs, nobody on, and Yoenis Cespedes will step up. Cespedes has only 1 at bat at Coors Field. And he misses that one by a yard.
Good slider in an opening pitch. Guy that swings often at first pitch fastball offering. That slider at 87.
Good decision by Nick Hundley. Here's the 0-1. Another slider. It's 1-1. Cespedes hitting .274 in a Mets uniform. He's coming from Detroit. Couple home runs, 8 driven in. This is his 18th game with New York. And that's in the air to right center field, and Cargo can't get it. Cespedes into second with the double. That's his 34th double of the year. It's tied for second in Major League Baseball, behind Michael Brantley of the Indians.
I see the location. You can see where Nick wants it, and he put it right where he wanted it, on the knees, outside corner. He got a pretty good hitter at home plate. And Cespedes, and he's able to take this ball out into right center field, out of the reach of Carlos Gonzalez. Gave great chase on the ball, trying to make the highlight reel again after a great catch in last night's ball game.
That's why I think too often we as announcers or the scribes use the phrase, he hit a mistake. Sometimes the hitter hit a good pitch. And you just described that. He hit it exactly where he wanted. This thing's a bleeder to the left side, and it's going to score a run. That's just a bad break. Rockies had to shift on against Lucas Duda, and he hit an 18 hopper through the left side, and it's 1-0 New York.
And that's what this offense can do to you at times too. I mean, that Duda just dribbles it through the left side, and John Gray has to realize that I made the pitch according to the shift. The guy just beat me with it. Everybody all stacked up on the right side of this ballpark. And you throw a pitch in, he fought it off and just able to squeeze it in between everybody and dribbles into the outfield, allowed Cespedes to come in and score.
I'm going to bring up Wilmer Flores. Duda even smiling about it. I didn't know if he was going to have enough energy to get to the outfield grass.
Yeah, it usually makes up for all those line drive outs.
Flores, a pull hitter, diving stop from Arenado, and he gets his man. Great play by Nolan to help out John Gray. So the Mets get a run on that base hit by Lucas Duda. Another tremendous highlight play from Arenado. The vacant left side off the bat of Lucas Duda, and the Mets have the first run of the ball game. Charlie Blackmon getting ready to go against 42-year-old Bartolo Colon. Here's the rest of the lineup for Walt Weiss, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Reyes, Cargo, Arenado, the top four. Then Ben Paulson, who had the big hit to provide the difference last night for the Rockies. That came in the seventh. DJ LeMahieu, Nick Hundley, Brandon Barnes, and of course John Gray. Now, Bartolo Colon is going to pound the strike zone, primarily with his fastball, which is not as fast as it used to be.
That's not anywhere close to it, but what he does do, he really keeps the ball to the corners, typically keeps the ball down. Last win came against the Rockies all the way back in 2012. A line drive base hit for Joe.
Good start. Blackman aboard. We look further into the numbers of Bartolo Colon, who's won 214 big league games.
10-11 on the year. He's a 15-game winner a year ago for the New York Mets. He went 15-13 for the Mets a year ago. An earned run average of 458. An innings eater. Still strikes out, but the one thing he doesn't do, folks, you can see it, he doesn't walk people. 16 walks in 141 innings. His last start was against Pittsburgh, a very good hitting team. 7 innings, 5 hits, and a run.
Yeah, overall his last 10 starts have not been real pretty, but he was good in his last outing. He got off to a tremendous start this year. That was close. It had the first base umpire, Paul Schreiber, jumping out of the way. He thought it was coming in his direction.
He jumped. I always like when an umpire jumps, turns his head because he didn't want to get hit. Well, was he safe or out? Yeah, I don't know. You watch, he's going to jump out of the way too, thinking the ball might have gotten by Charlie and by Duda, and he didn't want to be one to interfere with the baseball.
Close. That's the thing about Colon. He does all of the little things, George, and he's always been a little bigger. He's not going to be in any. He's not going to be on the cover in GQ or Men's Fitness anytime soon.
Played. Ooh. Terry's going to see it. Yeah, they want him to get on it. Sure does.
Those little things like holding runners, and he's got quick feet. Time for a Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. This angle is a great angle, and it's not going to end well. It's not going to take him very long. Charlie got picked off by a guy with really quick feet.
Quick feet and his arm action is what does it, Drew. It's a very short, quick arm. He doesn't drag the arm back and make a long throw over. It's a short, quick snap throw, a catcher's throw to first base.
Charlie was surprised. He knew it. So the pickoff of Blackman by Bartolo Colon. So now Reyes at the plate. Colon with the first pitch strike at 87.
Reminds me of Rick Ruschel. Ruschel was much taller. Same body type, though. He did go sink the fastball a little bit. Just ought to get down. No, won't either. Just going to jog over and make a play on it.
It's funny that you mentioned Rick Ruschel, because I said to Walt, I said, does he remind you of Rick Ruschel? And he said, yeah, he really does.
Well, Rick was big. I mean, Rick was 6'4", though. And Bartolo's not that tall. But Rick was one of those guys that was a very good athlete, quick as a cat off the mound, had a great pickoff move at first, could swing the bat at home plate. All the little things you don't think about a pitcher doing, he did. And that's why he won a lot of games.
And again, looking at the body type, you wouldn't think those things. Here's Cargo with 2 outs. Inside, ball 1.
Well, what Bartolo does, and it's a good lesson for all young pitchers at home watching the game, he really repeats the delivery in the arm action. Never varies.
This ball hammered. We're going to have a tie game. Cargo launches yet another. His 29th of the year. Second time in his career he's taken Cologne deep.
Yeah, Cologne's watching the video. I think you're going to find that it didn't really matter. 29th home run this season, 70 RBIs now for Cargo. Wants the ball down and away, never made it down and away. Stayed in the center cut of the plate. Cargo set on it, and it got out of here in a hurry. What brought this crowd to its feet early part of this game.
Here's Nolan. Outside ball one. That thing got out of here in a New York minute.
I knew you were going to use that.
Well,
I just knew you were going to say it.
Why not? 58 combined home runs for Arenado and Gonzalez. This has popped up around the mound. And Flores will come on and make the catch. So Cargo goes deep to even the score at 1 as we go to inning number 2 at Coors Field.
On a Friday night. That means it's a Fan Friday, so we want you to tweet us using the hashtag Fan Friday. We figured kids are back to school. Hey, maybe you're studying, watching the Rockies game. Send us a photo, tweet it to us, Facebook it to us, Instagram, or maybe something you did over the summer with the Rockies. Just have some fun, think about it. We'll get some stuff on the air. Use the hashtag Fan Friday as we go back to Drew and George, guys.
Mark, thank you very much. First pitch in the second inning from John Gray. Inside to Kelly Johnson, 1-0. Last time, Frazier, we saw Kelly Johnson. He was running all over the ballpark against the Rockies. He had a couple doubles and a home run. The Mets did everything right in that 4-game series. First of all, they rolled out Jonathan Neitz in their big 3. The Rockies got a whopping 5 runs in the 4 games, but the Mets really swung the bat also. They outscored Colorado 23-5.
Well, average-wise, 262 to 150. Hits almost a little over 8. The Rockies averaged 4. New York hit 5 home runs. The Rockies hit 3. But overall, New York had 15 extra base hits in that series.
2-1 line drive, and DJ can't get it. Kelly Johnson is aboard, leading off the second inning. That'll bring up the catcher Travis d'Arnaud, who wants tacos. When the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. Kelly Johnson draws a throw. Not a guy you really think about swiping a lot of bases. fact, this year he has just one in 2 attempts.
Really, the only guy that's going to swing and steal a lot of bases over there, Granderson. He's got 9. He swing the bat, try to create a lot.
Kelly Johnson, you know, you think back to Jeff Kenny's that new wave of second baseman, really good hitter. Not necessarily a speed guy, not necessarily a big range guy on defense. You hit it, you know, around him, you're going to be out. He's going to turn the double play, but they're offensive second baseman. That's what's kind of making DJ unique. He's not a power guy, but he's a good hitter who's an extraordinary defender.
Well, take a look at what John Gray offers these hitters of the New York Mets. You'll see the fastball 65% of the time, the slider 19% of the time. He utilized the changeup a little bit in that first inning, but it's a developing pitch. It's getting much better. Nine fastballs, 3 sliders, and 4 changeups so far in the ball game for John Gray.
Right center field. Cargo putting his glove out to Charlie Blackmon. He's got it, and Darno's retired. That'll bring up Michael Conforto. Well, the last start against the Mets, he's only had 3 starts, folks, so his only other start is his second big league start. And you want to talk about pinpoint control and dominating stuff. Frazier gave up 1 run. It was a solo home run, 1 hit.
Just 2 walks in the ball game. He had 5 strikeouts through 75 pitches through 6. Everybody knows he's on a pitch count. He's on a limit of what they're going to allow him to do as they go down the stretch here at the end of the season.
Good young hitter in Michael Conforto. They have to give way to David Wright. They expect Wright, who's on a rehab assignment, Port St. Lucie, they expect him back on Monday.
They'll leave here and travel to Philadelphia for 4 games on the road before they head back to New York to start a homestand. Terry Collins been given a lot of vote of confidence. He's managing in a very difficult city and it expects an awful lot. They've loaded up his ball club. They've made moves to make it better.
Three balls and a strike. I think you learn more, George, about a pitcher on the nights that he doesn't have his best stuff. And we don't know yet. It's still too early. 21 pitches in to determine what kind of stuff John has tonight, what kind of command he has. But the good ones manage to still keep the opposition down, even on those nights where not everything's in alignment. And that misses off the inside corner. So a walk to Conforto. That'll bring up Colon. 2 on, 1 out.
And a fastball that got called a strike in New York, the inside corner, because Dick Hundley's not moving around an awful lot behind home plate with the youngster out on the mound. Colon at 42 at bats has struck out 18 times. Not a very good bunter.
That hit him?
Got him, yeah, got him right on the hand.
That got him on the right hand.
Yeah, sure.
Now the
on his
bases
finger.
are loaded for Curtis Granderson. And that's bigger concern is their starting pitcher.
Squared around the bunt. The fastball continued to run. Colon's like, oh, that's going to hurt. Caught him right on that wrist bone. Not on the hand, but on the wrist bone. And down on the muscle part of the forearm. I'm sure that's not a good feeling right now. Dan Wortham, the longtime pitching coach in New York, walked out to check on his starting pitcher.
And Colon apparently is okay, so he'll walk down to first. And now you'll have Granderson up there. And John Gray's created a situation here. A hit, a walk, and a hit batter. Granderson hit a fly ball to fairly deep left field, leading off the ball game. And we'll see if some of those 93s, 94s become 95, 96, 97 here.
The first one did. Went to 95 with that first offering of the fastball. A very good location. Separator.
One on Granderson. Granderson is a guy that, despite his lean build, hits a lot of home runs. 22 this year for the Mets. But he also strikes out quite a bit.
You just don't want to make a mistake out over the part of the plate, particularly inner half.
And this ball is center field, and it's going to drop for a base hit. One run is scored. That's all, as everybody kind of had to hold up. We'll see if it would drop. So a base hit makes it 2-1. Granderson with his 53rd RBI. And that'll bring up Daniel Murphy, and Steve Foster will go to the mound.
And you look at this so far in this ball game. John Gray's given up a double. Yes, it was hit hard. Then a flare single that barely got through the infield. In this inning, he's given up a flare to Kelly Johnson, a walk, a hit batsman, and now this flare to center. Well, it's not so much, maybe it's location, or what kind of repertoire going back and forth are you going too many fastballs in a row? Let's mix up your direction of what we're doing here.
Murphy, grounded to first, is at the plate.
3 of the 4 hits off of John Gray so far have come off of a changeup.
Locating the fastball, it's inside, 1-0.
Obviously, that's the key to his success. Locate the fastball, chase the slider, and changeup. He did it in New York, and it worked to perfection.
Ground ball toward the middle of the diamond. DJ can't get it. 1 run is scored. Colon will stop at third, and it's 3-1. Neither ball hit particularly hard, but it doesn't matter. The bases remain loaded.
Going places where the Rockies don't have a glove. At this time, off John Gray, very quiet lower half by Daniel Murphy as he drove in his 48th run with a single back up the middle, out of the reach of everyone. John Gray, DJ, and Reyes.
Cespedes takes inside.
They got a pretty good smack right there on the hand. You can see it, the black and blue rainbow. I'm sure they'll probably have somebody start throwing down in their bullpen. Gil Martin may be one of the guys they go to.
It's 2-0 on the most dangerous hitter in this Mets lineup, Yoenis Cespedes. Gray needs double play ball in the worst way. 3 runs, 5 hits. We're just in the second. He went changeup 2-0.
Cespedes on the year, combined American League and National League, has hit into 11 double play. Career with the bases loaded. Oh boy, 432. He does have a grand slam, but 42 RBIs this season, hitting over 400 with the bases loaded.
And that pitch not called to strike. He was close. Home plate umpires Ryan Blackney, and it was, I guess, a tad bit inside. So it's 3-1. And so far, he's thrown 32 pitches. 17 strikes, 15 balls. So basically a 50-50 split. That is not what you're looking for.
Well, with his fastball, more balls than strikes, 11-9.
3-2. He came in his first 3 games, covering 15 innings, averaging 95.2 miles an hour.
It's about the location, though, more than anything. Same thing with Matt Harvey, all these other guys. There's a lot of guys that throw 95 and 100 miles an hour, but a lot of them are down in A-ball because they don't know if they're going to throw it to the catcher or to the screen.
Yeah, but from a starting pitching standpoint, there aren't many guys that sit on that. This ball's well hit to right. Cargo back near the wall is going to see it glance off the top and go out. It's a grand slam from Yoenis Cespedes, and it's now a 7-1 ball game. Third home run for Cespedes in a Mets uniform. And for the first time in his brief big league career, John Gray getting stung.
7 runs on the board. Cologne's wrist might feel a lot better for 4 more innings. Pick up a W, maybe. Yeah, he got a fastball that was up, and it's that strength of Cespedes that carried it. I thought it hit the yellow stripe and was going to come back in, but it bounced all the way up, hit the second deck, and then came back down.
Lucas Duda at the plate. Do a little quick triage on Bartolo Colon, and Gil Martin, George, has taken a seat. So to your point, and listen, this guy hadn't lasted until he's 42 because he wants to take a quick exit on the evenings he gets the baseball.
No, that's a tough man. Trust me. Took off 2010 to let his elbow get repaired. Came back, and after coming back in his late 30s, I might add, folks. Coming back in his late 30s after 2010, he went 8-10 with the Yankees. Then in Oakland, 10-9, 18-6, and 15-13. Here he sets in this ballpark tonight, 10-11.
2-0 changeup was hit a mild foul. 2-1. And this is on the ground to DJ. 2 outs. The Rockies have lost 8 straight games to the Mets. They've been outscored 35-8. The accompanying statistics would support The Mets having won 8 in a row. High ERA for the Rockies, low ERA for the Mets.
Now Milwaukee's playing Washington at home tonight, and they're beating Washington 5-2. 4-game lead get expanded to 5 in a hurry.
Long way to go here. Top of the 2nd inning. Wilmer Flores, the 9th man to hit against John Gray in the 2nd. Doesn't have the command we've seen in his first 3 ball games.
Fastball command's what's really been off.
Ground ball through the middle, another base hit. Flores. And Christian Bergman's up already. Doesn't seem to be the finish on his fastball either, on the fastballs he has been in the zone with. So Kelly Johnson, who began the inning with a base hit, with his 2nd at bat. That grand slam from Cespedes, the 2nd of his career.
There's been a study in baseball, and they have all kinds. But one of them that they look at is in the minor leagues, they never like to have a pitcher and go out and throw more than 30 pitches in an inning. They feel once they get beyond 30, that opportunity for injury always increases itself. And right now, John Gray has thrown 32 pitches in this inning. That's why Walt has not only the grand slam and the walks and behind it count in 7-1 ball game. He's got Bergman up, but he's also to want things to happen to this young player mentally, where you get here at Coors Field. They're going to watch it pretty closely. Probably going to be it.
Another rope up the middle. That'll bring up Travis d'Arnaud. 7 runs, 8 hits against John Gray. And that is it. Walt's going to go to the bullpen far earlier than anybody expected, even given the pitch limitations on John Gray. So this is part of the education as well. No pitcher, no matter what success they ultimately have, does not have some hiccups along the way. And tonight certainly was a hiccup.
Well, it's really a humbling game. I mean, there's no question about it. Once you get on that mountaintop, you got to watch out, because when you hit that cement, boy, it really hurts.
7-1 New York. Tonight, not so much. Gone after recording just 5 outs. He's given up 7 runs on 8 hits. The command wasn't there, and the finish wasn't there either. The finish on his fastball. So Christian Bergman takes over.
He's a long haul guy for the Rockies. 43 and a third innings. Been a starter. Been stretched out. Tonight he's going to be asked to eat up at least 4, maybe more if it goes smoothly for Bergman and the Rockies. It's just all part of it. I mean, 4 more days, you get to do it again.
Chad Bettis has returned to the Rockies, not activated. Chad threw last night, 5 shutout innings. Maybe back in the rotation in the not too distant future, and there he is counseling John Gray.
Yeah, when you're a young pitcher and like Bettis is, you've experienced what John experienced, that conversations can be meaningful and helpful.
Johan Flande in the foreground was just terrific last night. Here's the 2-0 from Bergman, and that is lined to right. Cargo's going to get there, though. Takes a hit away from Travis d'Arnaud to end the inning. Mercifully. 7-1 Mets. They got 6 in the inning. Cespedes a grand slam.
Mets put up 6 in the second. They lead 7-1 on a Fan Friday. Use the hashtag Fan Friday tonight and hit us up. Kids are getting back to school, so we thought we'd show some tweets as they return to school, and they're kind of ending their summer here. Let's show the first one that we got. This comes from Krista. These munchkins just finished their first week of school. Yep, isn't that a cute picture? You got the heart, you got the book, the pencils, everything, the notebook pad. So we'll put up some photos like that. If you got something from the summer that your kids did that was fun. We're kind of moving into the fall and talking about the boys of summer who are still playing, guys.
Mark, thank you. Ben Paulson will lead it off in the second. Paulson, LeMahieu, and Hundley against Bartolo Colon. 460th start tonight in his big league career.
What is it? Something like over 2,000 innings thrown, over 45,000 pitches thrown.
Well, we'll show you, even though John Gray is no longer in the game, clearly, we'll show you a comparison of the two from an experience standpoint. Pretty startling. 0-2.
Well, what we were talking about, or I was talking about earlier, is the difference between the two of these guys. You mentioned the 459. I had the 45,000 pitches. Nearly 3,000 innings thrown to John Gray's 15.
This ball's, crushed left center field, and it is gone. Home run, Ben Paulson. Oppo to one of the deepest portions of the ballpark. That's number 9 for Ben. And it's 7-2. That thing was lathered.
Benny, you got a hit last night. You come up with a bomb. You got no beard. Don't shave for. I mean, just shave for a few more days. All right, just keep it on. Don't let it get long. Just have that after hours beard. That's right. Sinker didn't sink. Stayed right around on the outside part of the plate. Ben just sit back on it and rode it out of this ballpark. There's still nobody up in the Mets bullpen. They have a few people that are up there. Get a little quick timeout as the ball came out on the field. Collins, they want to go out and check out Bartolo again. Yeah, I mean,
they want to check if he has whiplash now. The wrist may be fine.
Oh, be nice. But he's looking up at the board. He sees the 7th inning in Milwaukee. They're losing 5-2, and he's thinking, all right, I want somebody that's 100% out here. I want to make sure that he's okay to pitch and get guys out. Terry's like, I'm fine. I just gave up a ball 400 feet, but I'm fine.
Have you ever seen a guy more calm? I don't know if I've ever seen a meeting at the mound.
Well, look at the knot on his arm.
He's flipping the ball up in the air.
Yeah, but look at the knot on the arm. I mean, I can see the concern. It's not about this start. It's about what's going to happen down the road for him.
You said it earlier. It's a tough man. He's come back from an elbow injury. Missed a whole year. Well, still applying his craft and doing well at 42. Strike 1 on DJ, facing Colon for the first time in his career.
Colon probably looked at him and said, you know what, Skip, hey, listen. If I give up a solo shot an inning for 6, we're still up 7-6. Go back to the dugout. I'm okay.
Back up the middle, and Colon stabs it. 1 out. That'll bring up Nick Hundley.
And I talk about repeating the delivery. It's also repeating his finish every time, square to home plate, so he can handle this. He doesn't fall off to the first or third base side. Come directly to the plate. Makes that play look a lot easier.
Hundley at 295 takes a strike. 7-2 New York. That's 6 runs off of John Gray last inning. This is going to go through the middle of the diamond. Base hit for Hundley. About 4 of those hits already in this game. Brandon Barnes 2 for 7 with a pair of doubles, matching up against Colon in the past. Came into the ball game last night as a defensive replacement. 2 for 11 on the homestand. Ball is going to be cut off there by Flores. Long throw not held. Low throw, I should say, not held. And it's first and second, 1 out.
That low throw, I didn't think it was going to be held. That ball's in the dirt. It's going to skip right into him. What he tries to do is hang on to the ball out in front of him. It just took a skip off of his mitt, plus turned the head a little bit. Watch right here. Watch Johnson. See his head turn a little bit away from the baseball. Didn't see it come into the glove totally. Ball skips away from him. First and second, 1 out.
It's an error on Flores. Christian Bergman at the plate.
11th of the season on fours.
Well, a while back they made the change. They moved Flores from shortstop and Tejada from second base, and they flip-flopped. And most nights it's Tejada at short and Flores at second. Tonight Tejada not in the lineup, and Flores playing shortstop. It's the 1-0 to Bergman, and he gets the bunt down. It took a pretty good play to get him by Daniel Murphy, who is more familiar with second base.
Bunted it pretty good too. Murph's going to come in. I mean, he's playing kind of sideways in case Colon can get to the ball. Colon's not going to be able to get there. They do get Bergman. But Charlie, who singled in his first at bat, chance to cut this thing down to 3 runs with a base hit.
Well, the one thing that you all know watching is that the Rockies, especially with coming into the inning, 8 innings of offense to work with, even though you're down 6 runs. They've done it before many times, and you're facing a guy that, though he's very accomplished, is not overwhelming. It's not like, all right, Jacob deGrom's got a 6-run lead.
It's a little different story, no question.
And Terry Collins knows it too. I mean, Terry's been around a long time. He's like, okay, I'm glad I'm up 7-1, but I don't by any means think this thing's over. As you said, a base hit here would be huge.
Yeah, Jim Tracy, Jim Leland, guys that have managed here, good managers, even Clint Hurdle. Start managing in the 7th inning. First 6, let them whittle away. It's going to be a long night. If the ball happens to be flying, it happens to be finding holes, it could be a really long night.
Heard that many times from guys with experience here. Let me know in the 6th inning or so what the situation is. We'll pick up at that point.
Start getting the matchups that they want coming out of their bullpens late in the ball game. Left on left, guys coming off of the bench, getting what they want to see there.
And the Mets, George, you know, they had to have action early because of Colon getting hit on the wrist. The Mets have only 6 guys in their bullpen tonight. Probably make a move before the ball game tomorrow to add a 7th arm. This ball is well hit, but it is right at the center fielder Cespedes. So the Rockies got a home run from Ben Paulson, and they had a couple of men left in scoring position, 7-2 as we go to the 3rd.
Ben Paulson and Cargo with home runs so far for the Rockies. It's another Fan Friday here in August. Use the hashtag Fan Friday. Tweet us at @RootSports_RM. Instagram, Facebook, all the social media spots. Here's Anthony asking a question. Has there ever been a player to win the MVP that was not an all-star? When was the last time? It's happened 12 times, Anthony. Last time was 07. Jimmy Rollins of the Phillies. I think Matt Holliday should have won it that year. And the year before that, 06 in the AL, Justin Morneau, who, of course, is on the rocks, and there he is in the monitor. And I saw Justin doing some sprints today. Hadn't seen that, so he is working his way back. Let's hope so, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. We'd love to see the National League batting crown, reigning batting champion, come back and play some baseball in September. It'd be great.
Yeah, and he's been taking BP out on the field all week long, and you can just see watching his BP how much better it looks and how much better obviously he feels. It's good to see him around. 1 ball, 1 strike on Michael Conforto. He walked and scored against John Gray in the second. Again, if you're just getting to our broadcast tonight wondering why Christian Bergman's out there, Gray got roughed up, did not have good command. An inning and 2/3, 7 runs, 8 hits. He walked 1, didn't strike anybody out, and he also hit a batter. That was Bartolo Colon. Bergman quick off the mound, 1 out. Let's check the Lowe's Never Stop Improving stat. Well, check this out. Over the last 5 ball games, the starting pitching has been really good, save the return of David Hale's first game back after missing almost 6 weeks. David, was not real sharp against Washington, but John Gray, beginning in his previous outing against the Padres, 5 innings, a run, and ordinarily next year would have continued on. He's on a limited pitch count. Chris Russin, the complete game shutout. De La Rosa, though he had some command issues at times, 6 shutout innings, and then Johan Flande last night, he had a shutout going until Michael Taylor hit the 2-run home run. So 4 of the last 5 starts have been really good. Obviously tonight was not a good outing. Bartolo Colon grounds to short. 2 gone.
Star Wars night, it's back for 2015 this Saturday with a pregame parade for fans in costume. Drew, you doing that again? Purchase the Star Wars ticket package to receive the 2015 limited edition Star Wars night t-shirt. It's tomorrow. Vets are in town. You get a t-shirt. Come on. Rockies.com/Star Wars for tickets, or 303 Rockies.
Curtis Granderson takes a ball. Curtis had an RBI single in the second. Two and one. On the outside corner, well received by Nick Hundley. And another hit for Curtis Granderson. He's really picked it up the last month. Granderson hitting .375 in his career at Coors Field. He's got 17 RBIs this month. With every challenge call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout out in center field. Christian Bergman in the third with 2 outs. He'll face Daniel Murphy. Granderson can run. He's got 9 stolen bases. It's really an ideal spot to run because you're at the top of the order with 2 outs. You have the 5-run cushion. You get thrown out. You got Murphy, who's a contact type guy, leading off the next inning. This is popped up and playable for LeMahieu or Reyes. It'll be Reyes. Middle of 3, 7-2 New York. to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. 7-2 Rockies down to the Mets, but plenty of time left. Bottom of the third, Reyes, Gonzalez, Arenado against Bartolo Colon, who's given up a couple of solo home runs. One to Cargo in the first and one to Ben Paulson in the second. Reyes 5 for 10 lifetime against Colon. Good series for Jose individually against the Nationals. Last night he was 3 for 4. He was hitless in the middle game of the series, but in the first game against the Nats he went 4 for 5, including his first Rockies home run. He also had a double in that ball game. So 7 hits against Washington. And that ball is on the ground to second. Kelly Johnson's got it. League leaders are brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Well, check this out. Since June the 1st, these two guys are pretty good. Cargo with 25 home runs, more than anybody in the National League. He's got 57 RBIs. That's number one. And his slugging percentage is .664, is also first. And Nolan, in the same time frame, second, and fifth. These two guys carrying the Rockies. How quick did this get out, George?
Yeah, this one got out of here in a hurry. Colon made the mistake, and Cargo, I tell you what, he is on it now. It's fun to watch.
Here's the 0-1. Inside.
Occasionally see him chase, but not that much anymore. Pretty zeroed in with his preparation, what he does when the pitch is coming to the plate, getting the body set to the backside.
And this is going to be a base hit. They didn't shift. Actually, they didn't put 3 on the right side, but they shifted so much that Kelly Johnson had no chance at that. It's a base hit for Cargo.
Their shift's not like a lot of people. You can see where Kelly Johnson's playing all the way out here, where their shortstop's more up the middle, Flores, and taking it that way. So they don't shift. If you want to call that a shift, I call it playing him to pull.
So many times the shortstop against Cargo's in the spot he just hit the ball. We pointed this out the other day. I think it was against the Nationals, because they had the same kind of alignment. And we said, you know, how many times has he hit the ball on the ground right there? Well, he did it again.
Well, and again, a lot of these teams, how they set up that defense is off of spray charts. Where the ball's hit on the ground on this pitch in that location, where it's hit on the air in this location. And I mean, that's basically how you set your defense up. It's not a big analytical tough thing to do. You just watch it on a spray chart, and that's what if you look down to the dugout. Is what Renee's doing down in the dugout right now for the Rockies. I mean, he sits down there. He's got a big notebook, and he'll mark the spray chart. There's red for maybe a ground ball. You see the spray charts on the right-hand side, and he's marking wherever pitch is, what it is, where it was hit, and what happened to it, offensively and defensively.
This ball's really well hit right center field, and Cespedes is going to have to play it off the wall. Cargo around third. He's going to score on the Arenado double, and it is 7-3. 88th RBI for Arenado. Came into the game second in the National League, the Goldschmidt and Ribbies.
Colon has 3 starts here and all at Coors Field. He has an earned run average of 7.71, but his record's 2-1. 14 earned runs and 16 1/3. He's given up another one here. That ball's in the right center, just a few feet shy of getting out of the ballpark. Cargo round and around third base with the head first slide. I'm going to take off, watch the flight, knows he's got to score, and he also knows Cespedes has a pretty good arm in right center field, the way he cut the bags, and then that beautiful head first slide across home plate and a high 5 from Ben Paulson doing the coaching in the backside just like he's supposed to.
Nola now within 1 of Goldschmidt and that RBI chase in the National League. Full 10 ahead of Andrew McCutchen. Mr. Posey as well. Here's Paulson. He hit the ball a mile to left center his last time. He's fouled off out of play.
Yeah, he took a pitch. Mistake by Colon. It was elevated, and I mean, this guy's got some bat speed, folks. Drove it into left center field, opposite field, into the gap for a home run.
We showed Justin Morneau a moment ago. In his absence, Ben Paulson has taken full advantage offensively and defensively, proving that he belongs at this level. And what's been even more impressive, perhaps, George, the number of late game big hits he's got. Last night, another case in point. The difference in the game, his 7th inning single, and the Rockies would win at 3-2. Two outs. Arenado to third. That'll bring up LeMahieu. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. You can do that tonight if you're feeling hungry right about now. The promo code is ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. Rockies were down 7-1. They've gotten a couple back. They've scored at least 1 run in the first 3 innings against Cologne. The 42-year-old from Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. Beautiful area.
Well, it's a gorgeous area out there. I'm trying to think. Tip of my tongue right now. The golf course used to play out there all the time. I played winter ball down there. All the players want to play out there because they get to stay at the resort and play golf. Makes sense.
Yeah. I was doing NFL Europe, George, several years back. The NFL Europe League was still going. Everybody wanted to play in Barcelona because the team hotel was 20 feet from the beach.
There you go.
Off the plate, 2-1. Those are the pitches with Bartolo you have to spit on.
Well, not literally, you just don't swing it.
Right. On 41 pitches in a typical Cologne outing. 30 have been in the strike zone. Wood said it earlier. He doesn't walk anybody. 1 per 9 innings of work. Second best in baseball. 3-1. Last 3-1 count, he was in his 30s. Arenado at third.
He'll surprise you a little bit. He'll sneak around at 86, 87, 88. Then all of a sudden he'll elevate it and it's 91.
How about that, huh?
And it's that extra 4. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 4 miles an hour and elevated, it's a whole bunch as far as trying to catch up to it.
You're up there and say, where'd that come from, right?
Yeah, everything, you know, I mean, it looks very hittable, but it's not.
3-2. That was 92. Again, he'd been working virtually the entire evening at 87.
I'll tell you what, I watched him warm up before the ball game. I even had Sam and Sam. We have 2 Sams in the booth tonight. But I've come out. I said, watch this 42-year-old man. And he was almost all the way to the left field foul line, and he threw it into the bullpen of the Mets. 300-something feet.
Ground ball up the middle, and it's bobbled and on into center field. And the Rockies get another run as Arenado scores. Kelly Johnson couldn't come up with the backhand stab. It is 7-4.
I'm not sure he's going to be able. I really don't think he's going to throw DJ out either, even if he comes up with it. ball's hit up the middle. It hits off of the glove. Arenado comes in after that double that he hit, advanced over on a ground ball. You see this ball hit right back up the middle. DJ knows he's going to get after it. But I got a question I want to ask you, Drew. Why would you shuffle everybody around in your infield? Doesn't make sense to me. Playing guys out of positions and doing things, just, I don't get that.
Well, Kelly Johnson's a second baseman. And Flores has played mostly second of late, playing shortstop tonight. I can't answer that. Nick Hundley singled his first at bat. It's going in the books as a base hit and an RBI for DJ. His 46th RBI. We've done so many games here, George, through the years. Sometimes early you just have that feeling. 7's not a winning number.
Not tonight, it's not.
I'd be shocked.
Well, the unsung hero here is going to be Christian Bergman. If he can contain the Mets for 3 or 4 more innings, you let Cologne go a couple of more, if they do, which I'm kind of thinking they're probably not going to. I think they'll probably go to the bullpen.
But again, keep in mind, they're short down there.
Yeah, they got a long guy, trust me. They didn't come into Coors Field. This isn't Terry's first rodeo. He didn't come in here without a couple of long guys. Carlos Store's a multiple inning guy. Gil Martin's a multi-inning guy. So they've got some guys they can do that with. They're not just not going to let a lot slip away.
And again, the reason they're one down in the bullpen is Logan Verrett, who's been down there, is going to make a spot start on Sunday so they can push Matt Harvey back a day just to let him have an additional day of rest. Nothing wrong with Harvey. The Mets have said all along, coming off Tommy John, they don't want him to throw too many innings.
Are you going to tell me you're going to go to him in the end of September and you won your National League East and go, hey, thanks for the year like Strasburg did? No, that ain't happening.
That's not happening. But they are trying right now. They are trying to limit it. And one of the things that they have going for them is they have another great arm coming back in the next few weeks, and that is Steven Matz.
Yeah, but he's not tested like these guys. It is a great arm, but now all of a sudden that rest of that rotation has some major league innings under their belt. Well, this weekend, this is who you're going to get a look at. Chris Russin's going to go against Jonathan Neese. That'll all come on Saturday, and then you're going to have David Hale going against Logan Verrett on Sunday.
Two and two on Hundley. Good eye from Nick. It's 3-2. So the Rockies will get DJ in motion.
Now the Mets are going to get up Gil Martin and get him going again.
Ball 4. So the rarest of happenings when Bartolo Colon's on the mound, a walk. For Bartolo, just his 17th walk in 25 starts this year. 2 on for Brandon Barnes. This is a guy who averages about 14 innings, 14 pitches per inning. He's had to throw a boatload of pitches tonight.
17th walk in 44 innings.
Brandon Barnes reached on an error by Wilmer Flores last inning. Rockies within 3. Foul ball. After this series here in Colorado, the Mets will not play a series outside the Eastern time zone the rest of the year.
Yeah, how about that? No more travels. They got some tough games though. They got to play Washington 6, Mets 3, or the Yankees 3.
And Colon gets the strikeout on Barnes. The first strikeout of the night for Colon. Rockies lead 2 on, but they plate 2 also. They're tightening things up.
On a Friday night, that means it's a Fan Friday. We want you to hit us up on Twitter at @RootSports_RM, Instagram, Facebook. Use the hashtag Fan Friday, having some fun. And we're going to show you some things from this summer as we wind things down. Roger Roundsville brought his kids to Military Appreciation Day, and I did meet him because we were out in the outfield. This guy was former Special Ops. I think he's retired Air Force. So thanks for reminding me that, Roger. It was great to meet you on Military Appreciation Day. And we should say we appreciate all the military watching us now during this game. So we'll have some more tweets and some more photos coming up as we go back up to the booth, guys.
Every moment of every day, we have great appreciation for our men and women who serve. And thank you, and thanks for pointing that out tonight, Mark. Yoenis Cespedes has had a big ball game, a double and a run scored in the first, and then a grand slam in the second against John Gray. And Gray goes an inning and 2/3, 7 runs, 8 hits, will walk, no strikeouts. He hit a batter. Christian Bergman in relief. Cespedes, Duda, and Flores. Rockies within 3 runs, and the first pitch of the inning is in there for a strike.
2-2 count, fastball up and elevated. And again, the strength of Cespedes. What a pickup this was at the trade deadline for the New York Mets.
It's this ball a long way to center field. Blackman hoping for a play, is not going to have one. Cespedes has gone deep again. And it's 8-4. That's the Mets' 10th hit.
See how many games has he played here, Drew?
He had 1 at bat at Coors Field till tonight.
Isn't that something?
Going to sign up to come back, I imagine.
22 home runs on the year now, combined with his American League numbers. His 4th in a Met uniform. Dead center field on this fastball from Christian Bergman. Charlie just ran out of space as he got to center field. This ball ended in the Met bullpen. Think he might have a headline in the Post tomorrow?
Hopefully not, because hopefully the Rockies ruined that headline. On the outside corner, perhaps a little bit off. It's ball 1 on Lucas Duda, who's got a lot of power. He's got 21 home runs. Remember when they had to make the decision, George, between one of your old teammates' sons, Ron Davis's son, and his kid Ike Davis, or Lucas Duda? 2 similar guys, big, powerful left-handed bats who strike out a lot, probably aren't going to hit for a lot of average. And they decided to go with Duda. And with all due respect to Ike Davis, it's worked out in that, you know, Ike's battled some injuries.
He's on the DL right now with Oakland.
And Duda's hit some home runs for the Mets.
Matter of fact, Ike Davis had to come in and pitch an inning the other day. like his old college days at Arizona State.
Wilmer Flores with 1 out, 1 for 2. Would have been 2 for 2 if not for that third baseman for the Rockies. He stole a base hit from Flores to end the first inning. Bergman well respected by his teammates. How he goes about his business. It's at the knees for a strike. See some of that royal blue and orange in the stands. Mets fans, when things are going well, have always traveled well. They've been around since 1962. Think about it. The Rockies' first ever game, 1993, was against Doc Gooden and the Mets at Shea Stadium. Mets won, of course. And you fast forward to 2015. In the ensuing 22 years, 23 seasons, both the Mets and Rockies have been in the postseason the same exact number of times, 3, and they both played in 1 World Series. The Mets lost the Subway Series 2000 to the Yankees. As we all know, the Rockies fell to the Red Sox in 07. Well, here's this big market team. It's now been around for quite some time. It's been tough. In fact, they haven't had a winning season since 06.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding. We've been waiting a lot of these young arms to make that circle through the system to get here. Have some bats. They went into the new ballpark. The fences were deep and longer. David Wright, a lot of injuries to him. It's just been a tough go, but so far right now it's not a tough go for the Mets.
And seemingly those moves, certainly tonight, in illustration, the moves that Sandy Alderson made to upgrade their offense are paying off. I mean, this is over the bag. That's a fair ball. And Nolan zips it across to get Flores. Uribe's not playing tonight. He's helped them out.
He's helped them out an awful lot. The inside fastball just busted up the hands. Nolan able to get over here and get on this. Luckily didn't tip the bag at all. Stayed in fair territory, and then Nolan underneath snap throw all the way over to first base.
Rockies will shift for Kelly Johnson. 2 singles, and Kelly pulls it foul.
Looking to come out to the ball game. There's always great Rockies deals available. Bookmark Rockies.com/specials. And check back all season long.
Change speeds 0-2. Let's change up. 8-4 New York. Top of 4. 10 hits for the Mets, 7 for the Rockies outside. Bergman, a native Californian. Two and two.
Keeps you honest. He'll throw the cutter in on the hands. So to the left-hander, it's going to break right in on his knuckles. And change speeds away. Go back inside again. You can see that Nick Hundley peeking to see if he's peeking.
Slider missed. Kelly Johnson in the inning. Yoenis Cespedes hit another home run, this one to dead center, and the Mets lead 8-4, middle of 4. Off will be Christian Bergman, and Bartolo Colon remains in the ball game. Bergman takes outside. He got a sac bunt down his first time up. Blackman after Bergman here in the fourth. Colon has allowed at least a run in every inning. One in the first, one in the second, two in the third. Three and 0.
Well, the hard part is if he goes to the dugout and he's icing that arm to get the swelling down so he can go back out and pitch the next inning. Because, I mean, this is a tough guy on the mound. If he's doing that, then you're losing some fingertip feeling because of the ice. The hand gets frozen, the muscle that guides those.
Johnson throws out Bergman. One out. Here's our big hit presented by Mako. Turn the car you drive into the car you love. Last night, Dustin Garneau behind 0-2. And on 95-mile-an-hour Max Scherzer fastball, he ripped it to left. It was a double, his first major league hit. Did a nice job behind the plate. Giving the Rockies to a 3-2 victory last night against the Nats. Charlie Blackmon a single in the first, a line drive to center field in the second. Those rare sliders, he only throws it about 9% of the time. Throws his fastball around 86% of the time. He and Lance Lynn, as that is pulled foul. He and Lance Lynn are the two guys who throw their fastball the highest percentage of the time, and they're right around the same. They're both right under 86% of the time. Rocky saw Lance Lynn when we were in St. Louis.
Sorry. I'm just watching Colon on the mound.
He's
the
like
music's playing and the drums are beating. He takes his glove off, takes the ball, and starts beating it with his glove to the drums in the ballpark.
Yeah, he's just having fun. This is a gapper, and Charlie's going to have a double.
Good for Charlie. Second hit of the ball game for Charlie.
And that'll bring up Jose Reyes.
Now trying to elevate the fastball, it just stayed down. Charlie just went out and got it. Plain and simple. Drove it right into that right field gap, and then it's off to the races. Granderson's going to chase it. Cespedes comes up with it. It's a very strong arm in center field. Reyes with a chance to drive in the Rockies' 5th run of the ball game.
Outside on Jose, who broke in with the Mets as a 20-year-old in 2003. He actually made his debut at 19, a day before his 20th birthday. He remains close with David Wright. And this is lifted to center field. Cespedes. So with 2 outs, it'll bring up Cargo, who's homered and singled. See how Colon pitches to Cargo. He got Arenado behind him, so it's no picnic after Cargo, but this will be interesting.
Kind of Colon turn around looking like, not you again. Boy, the demeanor he takes to the mound, I wish every young player could see it and watch it.
Boy, that got a little more at the plate than I think he wanted it to.
A little more velocity too, though. 91. It wasn't 86. It wasn't 88. It was 91. And it was down. It was on the outside corner. As Cargo fired at it, but it was a little bit late because 3 to 4 miles an hour added to this pitch. You can see it starting to run and sink. It's going to be more off the end of the bat, but tardy by Cargo. Inside.
2 outs. Blackman, who doubled, at second. Outfield straight up and deep.
Don't see him throw that very often.
No.
Changeup.
About 5% of the time. Two and two. Talking to Kevin Long, who used to be the Yankees hitting coach. He's an outstanding hitting instructor. He's now the hitting coach for the Mets. And we were talking about Cargo earlier this afternoon. He said that ball he hit out against Jonathan Neese, he said that was amazing. He just loves watching Cargo hit. He goes, I don't know why anybody, when he's locked in, would throw a strike to him. This wasn't even a strike, though, George.
No, it wasn't, but he got out to it, didn't he? You're looking at a guy that almost had a shot at a Triple Crown 3 years ago. That's what I'm watching.
2 and 2. He went change up again, and it's full. He will not give in. I mean, you talk about crafty and been around the block. Heck, there wasn't any pavement on the block the first time he went around it.
Stop it. He's 42 years old. LaTroy was 42. You didn't say that about LaTroy.
Hawks doing just fine up in Toronto. Different team. 3-2. And that's bounced past EY.
First 10,000 fans to the gates next Sunday. You're going to receive a Jorge De La Rosa bobblehead. Get your tickets to that ball game. It's all with the Mets this Sunday.
Charlie's at second, another 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Cargo jogs down to first, and Arenado will hit with 2 aboard. Second walk allowed by Colon. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean and Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. The Rockies, in their history, have had several players lead the league in total bases. Bichette did it in 95. 2 guys went over 400. Walker, the team record, 409, which is absurd. Helton, we were talking about last night, 405. Nolan right now leading the league. And he hit a booming double to drive in a run his last time up. Charlie takes off for third. It's a strike. Blackman, standing up, has his 32nd stolen base.
Don't pay attention to him. That's the last thing on Bartolo's mind right now, is to think about Charlie Blackman at second. You're going to go ahead and let him have the stolen base. Charlie took advantage of it. Colon this year has only thrown 0 wild pitches. But it's an advantage if he happens to get one by his catcher to the screen. You get to pick off a run.
Fly ball deep left center field. Did he get enough of it? Way back and gone! 3-run home run, Nolan Arenado. And the Rockies are within a run.
.30-91 now has the National League lead in RBIs. Nolan Arenado with 91. And you know what? You know what? Cespedes, you had the headlines for a while, but there's a third baseman trying to take him away from you. And this game ain't over.
You know, he hit it so high, George. You wondered, wouldn't have enough to get out, and it carried deep portion of the park, and Arenado has made it a one-run affair, and he knocks Bartolo Colon out here in the 4th inning. 30 home runs for the budding superstar Nolan Arenado. For when the inning began, a 2-out, 3-run bomb for Arenado, his 30th of the year. Now leading the league with 91 RBIs. Ben Paulson facing Sean Gilmartin.
37 ball games he's appeared in so far this year, 36 innings. See how long he's able to go in this ball game. He's due up the 3rd the next inning.
This is a high fly ball that's going to stay in the ballpark. Deep right center. Cespedes makes the catch to end the inning. But the Rockies put 3 more on the board. Nolan Arenado with a towering home run to left center field. When we ran this little feature, there wasn't much to recap. There was only 1 run. Tonight there's 15 runs. Cargo and Paulson solo home runs. Jonas Cespedes a grand slam and a solo home run. And Arenado a moment ago a 3-run home run. He had an RBI double earlier, 4 RBI night. And the night is young. We go to the top of the 5th inning. 8 runs, 10 hits and an error for the Mets. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors for Colorado. And right now, as you said to me during the commercial break, George, Christian Bergman's the real hero.
Just heat up some more innings. Here he works into the 5th inning. He's due up 4th the next inning, and he's been stretched out a little bit. You got Bergman that you could go to next out of your bullpen if you wanted to.
You don't even, with the Rockies now within a run, if it remains that way, you don't even, if he's got a lot left, you don't even have to go get him.
No, let him go ahead and go as deep as he can, have your bullpen ready, and then get it out of there. But this guy right here, I'm telling you, Bergman right now, 1 run given up in his inning plus so far. He just have a shutdown 5th inning and take care of the bottom of their lineup. Boy, it's going to go a long way.
1-1 on Travis d'Arnaud. 1-2.
Bergman's kind of one of those guys everybody forgets about. And he puts the gas on, he hits the brakes, throws an elevated heater at 90, 91. He'll spin a slider, he'll throw a sinker, kind of the kitchen sink right at you. But a lot of people, obviously, he doesn't grab headlines.
This ball is well hit to right. Cargo's got a long way to go and get there.
Oh, that look easy.
He makes a lot of things look easy, doesn't he? Let's check in with Mark Stout. Speaking of making it look easy, Mark.
Thank you for that compliment. Yeah, Drew. All right, Fan Friday, hashtag Fan Friday at @RootSports_RM. We're talking about kids going back to school. Boys this summer still playing. Some of the kids this summer, we're giving them their props. Let's show you one. This is a first day of kindergarten. Hey, pretty fancy with the frame there. So I wonder if anybody went back to school with Rockies gear on that we could show in a photo like that.
I guarantee you they did. Hey, do you remember when you went to kindergarten?
Yeah.
No, you
vaguely.
don't. No, you don't.
Maple Shade Elementary.
Look at you go.
Hamilton Township, New Jersey.
I tell you what shocked me the other day, Mark. I ended up taking my grandkids out to buy their school supplies.
Yeah,
That's
right.
a bad mistake. That cost me $200. Teachers, why can't they buy their own Kleenex? Why do I got to buy all the Kleenex?
We didn't even
Kleenex,
bring that to school.
hand sanitizer, all this stuff.
We got
Clorox
pencils.
wipes. I'm like, we used to go to the bathroom, wash your hands, right before you go eat lunch. I'm like, come on.
Now they got the handy wipes.
They got everything.
1-1, and this ball well hit right center. Cargo going back, and he made that one look easy also. He's a pretty good fielder, George. I've been watching.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched him a whole lot, but yeah, he's pretty good at what he does out there.
Conforto retired, and that'll bring up Sean Gilmartin. He's 1 for 1. He's a dangerous guy. 1,000 batting average.
I just like the high stirrups. It's old-fashioned baseball. Got sanitaries on, got his stirrups working.
Bergman's a no-nonsense guy. Right back on the rubber right after it. Change-up for a strike at the bottom of the zone. 1-1.
Well, he's not going to fall asleep and let this guy bleed one end somewhere for a base hit. Now you got to deal with the top of the lineup. Just end it right here. Rockies get something going. They may not ask him to go back out again. They may go to their bullpen. They may not.
2 factors. One you touched on. Complexion of the inning offensively next inning. And where he is from a fatigue standpoint. He's thrown 46 pitches.
Yeah, he's not tired yet. Ring him up. It's a pitcher. Ring him up.
You didn't say that on the rare opportunities you got to hit.
No, I would never say that when I was hit. I'd just turn around and look at him and go, why can't I get that?
2-2. Ground ball toward the middle. DJ's there. Not a ball. Well, how good are they on defense? It is a special unit. Fun to watch each night. Arenado's made a couple sparklers. So has LeMahieu. 8-7 Rockies within a run.
4-3 in the rooftop. Go figure. Good Friday for them, a good fan Friday too here. And let's get another picture that we've got to show you. This is from my buddy Stephen Tubbs over at 850 KOA Radio. Some summer memories from Coors Field, bringing the kids down and getting some baseballs here at the ballpark. That's what we want to see as we celebrate the kids.
Mark,
yeah.
You think she's marrying that guy in the pink shirt next, or is that just like the bachelorette party at Coors Field?
Right, with the Sriracha hot shirt. I saw that guy. I don't know. I think he's just longing for the ride.
He just saw the camera turn on.
Just hopped right in there, George.
I understand. Hey, how about this? 5 extra.
There they are.
There they are. Tell her to point to whoever she's marrying. Come on, tell her.
Yeah.
Who's running camera tonight?
Ringo's up there. John Allring and Big Alex are up there. Tell Alex to get in the middle and find out who she's married if he's here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I think Alex probably heard us, and he'll respond shortly.
LeMahieu at the plate. 1 strike. And here's Gil Martin's next delivery. It's ripped to left, a base hit. Second hit for DJ. He had last night off.
How about this? They had 5 extra base hits tonight. This game isn't over with. They had 6 in the series in New York last week. 3 home runs tonight, and they had 3 last week. So who's getting married? No, quit kissing your sister. Stop. Well, congratulations. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful life ahead of you.
Well, we can tell you this much, it's not the bachelorette party.
No. Glad you're at Coors Field. Glad you're on the rooftop celebrating tonight.
Good place to do it.
Oh, you're not kidding, it is.
Nick Hundley, a single and a walk.
It's packed up there tonight.
Seemingly every night. Tying run in LeMahieu, and he draws a throw from Gil Martin. Yankees losing to Cleveland at the stadium in the Bronx 4-3 in the 9th inning. The reason I mention that is this is the latest in a season that both the Mets and Yankees have been leading their respective divisions, the NL East and the AL East, since 2006.
Did you just say they've been leading their division since 2006?
I said this is the latest in the season that both were still leading their division.
And we haven't read an article yet. It could be a Subway Series coming in October. We haven't read that yet. It'll be happening shortly.
One on Nick Hundley. Well, to some, the Yankees have surprised this year. I think that's a fair statement. And the Mets have been driven by this great young pitching staff of theirs.
And their bullpen, too. I mean, their bullpen's rated in the top 5-6 clubs in baseball. Their earned run average is 3rd behind the San Luis Cardinals and Pittsburgh Pirates. That's pretty good, obviously.
They've turned it around because their bullpen a couple of years ago was awful.
The ball just came out on the field, and Ricky Bonas, their bullpen coach, seemed to be yelling to get the attention. Didn't come out of their bullpen.
The bullpen right now 6th at 3.14. They beat around a little bit of late.
A lot of that was Parnell. And Parnell went on the DL. Got hurt. Had a couple of games where he gave up some earned runs, some long balls. But he's on the DL, I think, on shoulder inflammation, if I read it correctly. Hard thrower.
10 hits for both clubs. It's 2-2 on Hundley. Another check on LeMahieu. DJ with 18 stolen bases. 8-7. The Mets were up 7-1. They got after John Gray. He lasted just 5 outs. The biggest hit, a grand slam over the scoreboard in right by Yoenis Cespedes, who's hit 2 home runs tonight. This ball toward the gap in left center field. Run, DJ, run. He's going to round third. He'll tie up the game. Heading to third is Hundley. We're even at 8 on a triple by Nick Hundley. His 5th of the year. How about that?
Yeah, showing some wheels off, isn't he? Picks up his 41st RBI on that drive into left center field on that 5th triple of the year. Fastball elevated, wanted the ball down and in, and Hundley turned on it into one of the deepest parts of Coors Field Stu Cole's just directing traffic. It makes it pretty easy when they hit him like this. Just send them on around to the house. The DJ can glance over the shoulder and coast into home plate. Kyle Parker has stepped out into the on-deck circle, and I kind of figured with Bergman going 3 1/3 that his nights probably would be over with, and it is.
Now, big at bat here for Brandon Barnes, trying to get himself in a good spot. Christian Friedrich apparently will be next. The infield is back with the exception of the corners. There's nobody out, a runner at third. Get it in play in the middle of the field. Virtually guaranteed of getting the go-ahead run home. 1-1 on Barnes. Reached on an error and struck out. Filled in nicely on a Friday night at the ballpark. 1-2, 8-8. And Barnes chases. So there's one out. That'll bring up Kyle Parker. Nice job, Christian Bergman. They get this run home. Bergman goes from inheriting a 6-run deficit to being on the plus side, a chance to get his 6th career win. How do you like that?
Yeah, pretty good night there, and he did his job. He gave up the one solo shot, but other than that, one other's hit in the game while he was pitching. And 1 run and 3 1/3. That's a good job. Didn't walk a batter. This soft fly ball to the right.
Not all that deep. Granderson underneath, and here comes Huntley. Here comes the throw. Out at the plate.
Yeah, Huntley's telling him immediately check it on the board inside.
Yep, he's nodding at the Rockies bench.
And I can tell him to hold up here.
Yeah, the umpires are going to keep the Mets on the field. It's a perfect throw from Granderson and a good catch. And you know what? The tag came mid-plate. I think Nick got the foot in there.
Look at the umpire, though. He's right on top of it. Nick Ryan Blackney's right on top of this, but there's the foot. No tag, foot's there, hands there.
You know, Darno George did a great job picking up that short hop, but look where the glove's going to go. It's going to go mid-plate, and
well, he takes his foot over the top of it. I don't think the foot, that foot in the air didn't get hit with the glove, as far as I could tell. I don't think it did.
You're going to hear a reaction from the crowd. A lot of folks cheering. So they think he's safe. We do as well. Time for a Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. You know, it's deceptive there, but to me, the foot pretty clearly hits before there's any tag applied.
We'll see right here. Watch as the foot's coming in. It's going to be up. There's no tag there. Left foot, his right foot on the ground has crossed home plate by then.
And it's got to be definitive. Let's look at this one.
Yeah, I mean, I do think he's safe. I think the backhand touches also. I think he's safe. We'll just see. The tag's way up high. The foot hits, the hand hits, but the tag hadn't been applied yet. Here comes the bottom foot. Tag's up high. Doesn't catch him there. We've seen that on the other side. He was not tagged there. Here's the hand right there coming in also. See, I think the umpire thought he caught the lead foot up in the air right there before the foot got under. They're giving it a good look, that's for sure.
Now in New York, they have the ability. We can do it, but it takes, again, technically, me talking technically is inappropriate because I don't know what I'm talking about. I know this much. For us to zoom in even closer, it takes a little doing. In New York, they're able to do it in a more expeditious fashion. So this view, which to us he looks safe, but they can get right on top of it. It's taken them a little time also, clearly. Oh, now we're gonna zoom in. Let's see. Again, can you tell where the glove touched?
Well, he hadn't tagged him yet.
Yeah.
Now he's tagging him, and the hands cross, the foot crosses. Here we go. Got an answer right now. They call him out.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
That's a surprise. So it is 8-8. That the Rockies had taken a 9-8 lead. Call didn't go their way on review. Would have been nice because it would have given Christian Bergman a chance to get the victory. So the Rockies will hand it off to another Christian Friedrich here in the 6th inning.
Come on to face left on left. 51st ball game for Christian to appear in. He's 0-3 on the year with a mid-5 ERA. Over 48 innings pitched.
3 1/3 for Bergman, just the 1 run, the Cespedes home run. Anderson at the plate, he takes ball 1. And Mike Fiers, George, remember the trade?
Yep.
From Milwaukee to Houston. Mike Fiers just no-hit the Dodgers.
9 innings, no hits, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts.
This literally happened about 8 seconds ago.
Well, I tell you, happy times are happening in Houston right now.
One of the beautiful things about baseball, I mean, Houston was as down as a team could be for a few years. And now they feel like they're on top of the world.
Well, Jeff Luhnow went in and he drafted right. He built their organization through this. He got lucky on some guys. But, you know, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts, and a 9-inning no-hit ball game down in Houston. I think the last no-hitter thrown in Houston, was it Mike Scott or Nolan Ryan? One of the two.
Probably Mike Scott.
Well, I'm trying to think of.
Been one since then?
Roy Oswalt may have had one. I don't think he did.
I don't think Oswalt had one.
Won a lot of games there.
This ball's hit a long way. And it is a foul ball. 2-1 on Daniel Murphy. Outside. 3-1. Down low. Did a little research on this, George, actually, while this game's been going on. So we're talking about John Gray. You know, obviously, it was a tough start for John, his first tough start. Averaging 95.2 miles an hour coming in. And as we all know, and you point out appropriately, that velocity isn't everything, but you have to be able to command it. I looked up this year the 10 hardest throwing pitchers, starting pitchers in baseball, average velocity. These aren't guys that have made, 2 starts. These are guys that have been pitching for the most part all year long. You know a lot of the names. The Mets have a couple of them, DeGrom and Harvey. The combined record of the 10 hardest throwing pitchers on average in baseball is 118 and 65 this year. So there is something to guys that can command that 95 plus.
Well, on the flip side of that for me, this is going to be a line drive to the right
this
center.
well again. He's got a 3-homer ball game.
This kind of reminds me of a guy we watched in here one time. Sammy Sosa went crazy. Remember that?
Well, I'll tell you what, Cespedes is going to come up at least one more time. It's just the top of the 6th inning. And he just gave the Mets a 10-8 lead. He has driven in 6 tonight.
What'd Sammy have? 3 home runs and 9 RBIs in 5 innings, I think. Cespedes a 2-run shot. He's now had the grand slam. This one to right field. Came up again with the bases loaded. Did his damage. This off Bergman to dead center field. And then now with Christian Friedrich on the mound, he went down and got a pretty good pitch from Christian Friedrich and elevated this all the way out into center field and into the Mets bullpen. Here's the thing about that stat, and you're right. If you can command that fastball, throwing over 95 average fastball, and you mentioned 10 guys. There's 30 teams in baseball, 150 starters. They're going to use 180 to 190 starters over the course of a season. See how many the Rockies have used so far this year, starting pitching. Nice catch by Nolan. So what do the other 180 have to do?
The point of the conversation and showing that graphic is that if you can get one of those guys, and John Gray, he's 4 starts into his big league career. Tonight wasn't good, but if you can be a guy that sits on 95 plus and commands it pretty well, you fall into the category with the Gary Coles and the Harveys and the DeGroms and the Scherzers, that ilk of pitcher. And Ryan Spilborghs talks about it all the time. There's a lot more margin for error at 96 or 97 than there is at 90 or 91.
But my point to the conversation, and it's a good one once you bring up about guys, if you can find one of those. You're talking about 10 out of 200 starters in the big leagues.
Absolutely. And you're talking about finding them.
They come around about once every 20 years.
And the Mets come into this ball game with a poor offense most of the year. They've picked it up with some of the acquisitions. Cespedes on display tonight. He's been a Met for a few weeks. But the Mets over 500 most of this year because they have 3 very special arms. The Rockies are trying to do that.
Washington Nationals. Look at them.
They are. They're another team. Look at the Yankees. They've overachieved. Nathan Eovaldi, who's the hardest thrower in the game on average, is 13-2. Gary Cole helping to lead the Pirates. Garrett Cole's 14-7. Cespedes, he's on another planet tonight. 10-8 New York. Home runs and a double tonight. He scored 4 runs. He's driven in 7. Crazy. Time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag RMDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Rockies at the top of the order in the 6th inning. 4th at bat for Charlie Blackmon. Charlie a single and a double in 3 trips. Ball from Gil Martin's in there for a strike. He's been effective. Gil Martin allowed just 5 runs over his last 23 innings. This is on 1 hop to second. You know, that call that stood at home plate. Didn't have enough evidence to overturn it. The fly ball last inning by Kyle Parker. Just hope that doesn't loom large later on, because this is a ping pong battle now. This thing could end up 15-14. 1 out. Jose Reyes flips over to the right side. Reyes from 03 to 2011 helped lead the New York Mets with David Wright. Four times an All-Star in a Mets uniform. Say, he did some things that you forget about, perhaps, George. Back in 2008, he had 19 home runs. Excuse me, he had 16 home runs, had 19 triples. In 06, he had 19 home runs with 17 triples. There aren't many guys that could do that.
No, not very many.
Gil Martin gets Reyes. Bring up Cargo. Cargo's had a big night also. Home run in the 1st, single in the 3rd, and would come around to score. In the 4th, he walked and came home on the 3-run home run by Nolan Arenado. Two outs and nobody on.
German is throwing in the Rockies bullpen right now.
Cargo's never seen Sean Gilmartin. One set up off the plate.
Missed it. But he missed it down.
Yeah. This time they do shift 3 to the right side. Gilmartin strikes out Cargo, flings his bat in disgust. 10-8, the Mets leading as we go to the 7th at Coors Field on a Friday night. 10-8. Jonas Cespedes having a career night. 7 ribbies, 3 home runs, and a double. Fargo's had a big night. He had a solo home run in the first. Also a solo home run for Ben Paulson. And Nolan Arenado, a 3-run home run. He added up 10 for the Mets, 8 for the Rockies, top of the 7th inning. And it'll be Gonzalez Germain coming in for Colorado after Christian Friedrich gave up a couple last inning.
Germain's been in a few ball games now for the Rockies. He's been in 18 overall for the year. With Colorado, he's been in 12. He started 1 ball game, 15 2/3, 16 hits, 9 walks, and 13 strikeouts. You'll get Kelly Johnson, d'Arnaud, and Conforto as to start things out here in the 7th inning.
Christian Bergman, by the way, went 3 1/3, allowed a run. That home run by Cespedes, just 2 hits, didn't walk anybody, struck out 1. He pitched very well. Christian Friedrich's been struggling a bit. He gave up 2 runs last inning on the 2-run home run by Cespedes. Kelly Johnson leading things off against Germain. Hits are even at 11. Ball 1. Two 2-0 on Johnson. 2-1. Yeah, George, just to finish that thought, we were having kind of a spirited conversation about the hard throwers. I'll give you the names so that people at home may wonder, who are the 10 hardest throwing starters in baseball. Nathan Uvalde, who's 13-2 with the Yankees, is number 1. Garrett Richards, who's 12-9 with the Angels, is number 2. Garrett Cole, who pitches for the Pirates. I've looked ahead. The Rockies may see him next week. He is 14-7. Matt Harvey of the Mets is 11-7. Danny Salazar of Cleveland is 11-6. Chris Archer of the Rays, who had a terrific performance last night, is 11-9. Carlos Martinez of the Cardinals, Rockies saw him earlier, 12-5. Here's the 2-2. Swung on it. Jacob deGrom of the Mets is 12-6. Andrew Cashner of the Padres is 11-5. Actually, that's the one guy that's not right. Carlos Carrasco, let me correct that, is 11-9. But anyhow, those are the 10 on average hardest throwers in baseball this year. Max Scherzer didn't even make the list. He was 18. Kershaw, if you're wondering, 20 at the 93.5. d'Arnaud at the plate. Pitch 1-1. Cespedes with the 3 home runs tonight. George, you mentioned, you and I sat here when the Cubs came to town many moons ago, and Sammy Sosa in the 4th inning, I remember it so well, in the 4th inning came up with 2 men on, and he hit a 3-run home run to right center. In the 5th inning, the very next inning, he came up with 2 men on again, and he hit one even deeper to right center. And then in the 6th inning, the same scenario, he comes up with 2 men on, and he hit one about literally like 5 miles to basically center field.
I was out there.
And in 3 innings, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th, he hit 3-run home runs, 9 RBIs, and then he shut it down. Obviously, the Cubs were winning big at that point, and he had an opportunity to go in the record books as
took himself out of the ball game.
To hit 4 home runs in a game, he took himself out. Cespedes wouldn't be allowed to take himself out here because this is still very much a ball game. It's a 2-run game, despite what he's done.
In Milwaukee, 10-3, they're over the Washington Nationals. crushed him. That game's over. Chicago won again, 5-3 over Atlanta.
2-2 on Darno. That's outside. 3-2.
San Francisco beat Pittsburgh 6-4. They'll pick a game up on the Dodgers, who were no hit by Houston.
Center field and deep. Blackman hoping for a play, will not have one. Travis d'Arnaud with the Mets' 4th home run of the ball game. His 7th, and it's 11-8.
Former Rocky Juan Uribe in the on-deck circle. Yeah, that's a little bit too much squared up to the center of the plate at 94 miles an hour.
This ball's launched to right by Conforto, and it is a fair ball home run. 3rd career home run for Michael Conforto. And it's 12-8. 5 home runs for the Mets, who since the latter part of July have hit more home runs than any team in the National League. This is a team that first part of the year struggled to score runs. This was a bullet.
Yeah, he dropped a hammer on a fastball. Center cut again. Foster's going to go out and visit for a minute. Calm Germain down. You can see it wrap around the pole. Pretty good look at first base by Paul Schreiber.
Sixth time the Mets have gone back-to-back this year. Well, last night the Rockies got 2 clean innings, relatively clean innings, out of Scott Oberg and John Axford. Axford, a little bit of traffic in the 9th, but struck out the side. He was throwing 99 miles an hour. This is slowly hit by Uribe, and Germain's throw is low, but it's handled nicely by Ben Paulson. 2 outs. It had ended a run of a very difficult period, to say the least, for the Rockies bullpen, where they had given up runs in 10 consecutive games. Well, tonight I don't count Bergman because that's such a long haul relief when you come in the second. He pitched very well for 3 2/3, but Friedrich gave up 2 last inning. Germain's given up 2 here in 2/3 of an inning. Curtis Granderson is quite capable of hitting home runs. Is at the plate. He's 2 for 4 tonight. On Granderson. Curtis signed with the Mets a couple off seasons ago. It's kind of nice when you don't have to
change condos downtown.
Yeah, he lives in the same building he was living in the city. 3-1.
Tommy Kahnle has started to throw for the Rockies down in the bullpen.
Mets have scored in every inning but the 3rd and the 5th. 3-2. Ball 4. Here's our CenturyLink link to what's next. Pitching matchup tomorrow. Jonathan Neese, 7-9 with a 3.50 ERA. And for the Rockies, Chris Russin coming off that complete game shutout last Sunday. Here's Chris. Hard ground ball pulled foul by Daniel Murphy. One and one. Once again, if you missed the early part of the game, John Gray just struggled tonight. He's got 5 outs, gave up 7 runs. Cespedes hit a grand slam against him. First rough outing for John.
They're never fun. Tough. You don't this, and really you don't learn anything from that experience other than it was bad. I don't want it to happen again.
One and two on Murphy. Tough guy to strike out. Runner going, and the throw by Huntley didn't get. Curtis Granderson, his 10th stolen base.
Well, they realize what kind of game they got going here at Coors Field. 4-run lead is nowhere safe. Granderson putting hits right before the tag.
Good call by Field and Colbreth.
Yep. Walt's got a conversation about something.
Well, you know what? Then they slow it down more. Like he assumed the tag was there. Maybe it wasn't.
Let's see what's going on here.
Or maybe the foot was there. Excuse me. We assumed the foot was there, but his leg was bending. So maybe they missed that. So Walt's going to challenge it.
It's a lot closer than it looked in the beginning when you see it by the naked eye. It sure looks a lot closer now than it did.
Yeah, initially you thought, okay, he's safe. Good call. Now, let's see, where's your contact? Right there. You know, based on the other one at home plate, which I thought would definitely get overturned, now I don't see them overturning that.
No, neither.
I thought they'd overturn the one at the plate, and the Rockies at the time would have had a 9-8 lead. So you can't, with the shadow, and this is what the umpire crew goes through in New York, they have to determine that there's actually contact, not that it appears to be contact with the glove and the pant leg. right there, if you called it right there, it doesn't look like the foot's on the base yet, you'd say he's out. But can you definitively, this is what they're doing in New York. We've had it explained to us many times. They're trying to determine, is there contact yet with the glove? Now there you can see the glove moving. And so there had to be contact, but was the foot now on the base? So they don't overturn it. It's a stolen base for Granderson. And that'll continue the at bat with Daniel Murphy. 2-2 on Murphy with 2 outs. 2 runs in the 7th for the Mets. Three and 2. Reyes at short left field. Got it, and that ends the inning. Darno hit a home run. Conforto hit a home run in the inning. And it is 12-8 Mets. Ford Focus. Big MPGs and fun to drive. Ford, go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Bottom of the 7th inning in Lodo. The Rockies trailing the Mets 12-8. Rockies were down 7-1. They came back to tie it at 8. But the bullpen has not been able to hold the long balls. 5 home runs for the Mets. Last time they had 5 in a game was last September in Cincinnati. A couple changes defensively. First of all, on the hill is Hansel Robles. He's on the hill, and at third base, our old friend Juan Uribe. He's played for 8 teams this year. And at first now is Daniel Murphy. Lucas Duda goes out. It just seems like 8 teams. Started the year with the Dodgers, was with the Braves, and now he's with the Mets. Nolan Arenado will be first up in the bottom of the 7th. Gil Martin went 2 1/3.
Well, you're looking at Robles' numbers. He's been in 38 games on the year. He's had 36 innings, a lot of strikeouts, don't walk many people. Another good arm coming out of the bullpen.
Earlier in the ball game, Nolan Arenado, a 3-run home run. He becomes the 12th player in Rockies history with 30+ home runs, just the second third baseman. I think you all know who the other third baseman who hit 30+. He did it a number of times. Still on the Rockies staff, Vinny Castilla. This is served down the right field line. It's going to drop. And heading to seconds, Arenado's got to get down. He will. Second double of the night for Nolan. He's had a big homestand. Let's check in again with Mark Stout. Mark?
All right, Drew, we're going to wrap up Fan Friday with one more photo that we got to @sports_RM. I was asking if anybody wore Rockies gear to the first day of school. I mean, if I saw one, I saw 100 pictures the other day, this past week. This is from Mike. Hey, first day of school in 4 years. Will this Rocks gear still fit? We'll take it. That's how we'll wrap up Fan Friday. Thanks, everybody, for helping us out here, participating. #Fan Friday. We'll do it again next week when we're on the road in Pittsburgh, guys.
I was a little concerned they were sending that little fella to school already.
No.
Would be a tad bit early. Ben Paulson. Those games just keep putting together good at bats. You never know. Rockies scored in the first 5 innings of this game. In fact, last inning was the first time they did not score. Went in order in the 6th. It's not often you could say you scored in 5 of the 6 innings and you're losing by 4 runs.
Had a crooked number in the second really got you. That's the one that really got it crazy.
Now Cespedes has been the proverbial one-man wrecking crew. 4 for 4, 3 home runs. He's driven in 7. And Cespedes is due to lead off next inning. They are all, by the way, career highs. The 3 home runs, the 7 RBIs. Most RBIs ever in a game for a Mets player. Carlos Delgado in 2008 drove in 9. Way back in 1976, 6'6" Dave Kingman drove in 8. He's the 7th player, excuse me, he's the 9th player to drive in 7.
Pretty interesting note on Fires is no-hitter down in Houston. He threw 134 pitches. Only 15 Rockies in the history of the organization has thrown that many. The most was, and I was here, Pedro Estacio against the Dodgers 1999. He threw 153 pitches. The Mule. They jumped on him and he rode him. Boy, he was great that night.
2-2's fouled off. Well, here's a couple other interesting notes about that Fires no-hitter. This last one's courtesy of our director, Jim Armentrout. Check this out, George. Both Dodger base coaches, Davey Lopes at first, Tim Wallach at third.
Well, Tim's
he's in the dugout now. Right. He's been replaced by Ron Renicky, but Wallach's on the staff still. He was the third base coach till a few days ago. They were in the starting lineup when Nolan Ryan no-hit the Dodgers back in '81 at the Astrodome. How about that?
Yeah. Actually, Lorenzo Bundy was the third base coach that Renicky replaced. Wallach's been the bench coach over the last couple of years.
You're right. That's right. Low Bundy's been there at third.
He may have gone to his mouth while his foot was in touch with the rubber.
That's why Arenado is at third. And Paulson strikes out. 1 out. That'll bring up LeMahieu. So Fires, talk about a feel-good story. Fires was drafted by the Brewers in the 22nd round back in June of 2009. In January of 2008, he was driving overnight from his home in Florida to the University of the Cumberlands in Kentucky. He fell asleep in the car, crashed into a guardrail, was ejected, suffered 4 fractures in his back and a broken hip. As a ground ball is going to get the run home, so DJ makes it 12-9.
DJ, a couple RBIs.
RBI.
Yeah, he got a couple RBIs tonight in this game.
So he was in the hospital for quite a while. And he transferred. He missed the 08 season, obviously. He transferred to Nova Southeastern University in Florida. And as a 6th-year senior, he was drafted. And ends up getting the big leagues. And tonight, he's the story of baseball with a no-hitter. Nick Hundley tonight, a single, a walk, and a triple to drive in a run. 12-9. Yeah, the Rockies, this is amazing. They've scored in every inning but the 6th inning, yet they're down by 3 runs. "14 innings of baseball, 14 half innings, 14 at bats, you know what I mean, and only 3 zeros on the board. A night for offense. Two and one.
Not even close.
3-2. This ball's hit well right center field. Nick Hundley, extra bases again. It's just a home run shy of the cycle. Got a single, double, and a triple and a walk tonight.
And the hard one's out to triple back in the 5th inning. Nick picked up his 41st RBI. 2-out big base hit here, a double into scoring position. Brandon Barnes coming to the plate.
And you know what else he's done, Frazier? He's moved that batting average back over 300. Seems like every time he dips under 300, he goes out and has a big ball game and gets it north of that 300 mark. He's at 302 after the 3-for-3 performance. Brandon Barnes looking for a 2-out knock. Hopefully it's not a field goal kicking contest at the end of this. So the Rockies need another field goal, I guess, is one way to look at it. Barnes fouls that off. It's 0-2. Ansel Robles, first inning of work for the Mets. Bartolo Colon went 3 2/3, gave up 7 runs on 9 hits. Sean Gilmartin is on the plus side. 2 1/3. He gave up a run. A couple of hits. Struck out 3. Didn't walk anybody. Good eye. That's the pitch he's been chasing. 1-2.
A lot of times when you start to struggle a little bit, you start to chase balls out of the zone, whether it be the fastball or the slider. The ball he hit early in the ball game at shortstop on the low throw to second base was hit hard in the hole. He struck out twice. A chance here to get a run across the board with a base hit.
That's it. Good eye again. 2-2. Covered that fastball up at 96. Nice job again by Barnes. Matt McBride looking for an opportunity. He'll be the pinch hitter. Ground ball to short, and Flores throws out. Brandon Barnes to end the inning. Rockies got a run. Arenado came home on a ground out by LeMahieu. 12-9 as we go to the 8th. At the ballpark. Outstanding. Our Data Strong fan photo of the game brought to you each night by T-Mobile. Mets leading the Rockies 12-9, first of 3. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout on a Fan Friday. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and Tommy Kahnle will be the 5th pitcher utilized tonight by the Rockies.
And walks have been a problem. We all know that with Tommy. 23 and 30 and 2/3, but an electric fastball can also end the bat pretty quick. 37 strikeouts. It's been a rough go the last couple of outings for Tommy. The left-handers have swung the bat well. Right-handers have not. Power on power. Cespedes at the plate.
Cespedes fouls that first pitch back, and he had evil intents. He was trying to enter the record books with 4 home runs.
The first off John Gray, then another off Christian Friedrich. As he went to that dugout, he yelled, "Wow." Yeah, you're right, wow. What a night.
The last time it was done was Josh Hamilton, May 8th, 2012 against the Orioles when he was playing in his first stint with Texas. That's a strike. 1-2. 3 home runs, 7 driven in tonight by Cespedes. And you know what? He has a grand slam, a solo home run, and a 2-run home run. It's obviously impossible for him to hit a 3-run home run in this at bat. That has not been done. The home run cycle. 2-2. Prior to that, Carlos Delgado hit 4 home runs for the Jays against the Rays. 2003. The year before, it happened twice. Sean Green and Mike Cameron. 2-2. That is a foul ball. The first guy to do it in the 20th century. It happened twice in the 19th century. Bobby Lowe and Ed Delahanty. Delahanty, a Hall of Famer. Lou Gehrig did it in 32 at the Yankees. Big names on that list. Willie Mays, Mike Schmidt. Two.
Hey, every Sunday is Bike to the Ball Game, and it is no different than this Sunday, so make sure you get out and do it. For more information on it, just go to Get More Info from the Rockies.com/screen and find out you can ride your bike to the ballpark. We'd love to have you be a part of that.
Hard throwing Tommy Kahnle, also with that outstanding changeup. Tell you what, we're showing Jose Reyes in a moment after this pitch. Here's the 2-2. And it's going to be a base hit to the right side. So Cespedes is 5 for 5. And now, yeah, he needs a 3-run home run for the homer cycle. And he needs a triple for the conventional cycle. Jose Reyes, believe it or not, folks, we told you he's got some pops. He hit 19 home runs one year with the Mets, 16 in another season. He hit 3 home runs in a game when he was playing for the Mets against Philadelphia in 06. Carlos Beltran hit 3 in a game here at Coors Field for the Mets. This is Michael Kadire pinch hitting. Pitcher's spot, even though it's a cleanup spot after the double switch that brought Uribe into the game.
Now, Kadire's missed a lot of time this year. He had 249, 8 and 31 on the season as a pinch hitter, 2 for 8. Nice time to come to the plate.
And this one is going to be handled by DJ. Did a full pirouette to throw out Kadire. And Cespedes moves to second. Let's play DJ.
Yeah, really nice play by DJ, going over on the Subaru super mode. See him pick the baseball, and then that's the hardest part, is the throw. The off-balance throws, you spun around, keeping your balance enough that you stay behind the baseball and then snap that throw over there. You watch these Rocky players, if you happen to get here early enough from batting practice, they work on an awful lot of that. That's why they got to go below.
Wilmer Flores 1 for 4. Pull hitter. The Rockies aligned that way. Fastball misses. Taken off for third, Cespedes, and he steals third base, which is a big bag with 1 out. Now the Rockies will have to pull the infield in. Down 12-9 here in the 8th. So Cespedes is having a career night. He has set 3 personal records tonight: the 3 home runs, the 7 RBIs, the 5 hits.
Big jump off Tommy Kahnle, even though it's a slide step, but Nick had to double clutch because he didn't get the ball out quick enough. You want to make sure you have that grip. It's such a quick snap throw, and Hundley and Garneau were out earlier today working on throws with Mr. Latchman.
This ball well hit to right, and it is a foul ball. Trying to keep it a 3-run game. Strikeout here would be huge. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. 12-9 New York. And that ball's going to stay fair. It's going to take a hop and bounce off the wall. Flores into second with an RBI double. It's 13-9. And the issues for Tommy Kahnle continue. Cespedes has scored 5 runs tonight. I'm sure that's a personal best as well.
47 RBIs now for Wilmer Flores. This is one of those games at Coors Field. 28 hits, 22 runs in the ball game. There's been 1 error. Steve Foster's going to go out to the mound for a second. He's going to have a visit with Tommy Kahnle. You'll see this ball hit pulled right down the left field corner.
Kelly Johnson, 2 for 4, 2 singles, 2 strikeouts. 1 out. Flores at second. Tommy's demonstrated a great changeup, George, but he's had better command more frequently of his changeup than the fastball, and you got to be able to command the heater. He's got a great fastball. He's got a tremendous arm. We all know that.
Just like you're talking about those guys that average 95, he's probably one of those relievers that average 95 with his fastball. But if you don't command it, it's just kind of a useless weapon, to be honest with you. That's what separated Goose Gossage. I mean, he threw up to 100 miles an hour, but he knew where it was going all the time.
Reno. Nobody in the Rockies pen. Travis d'Arnaud's on deck. Rockies lost 8 straight to the Mets. And they're down 13-9 here in the 8th. Ball 4. Right now, Hundley's the pitching coach. So Steve Foster can't go out again. d'Arnaud, last inning, hit a home run to center field, 1 for 4. It's been an ongoing theme for the Rockies pen in the last several weeks. Struggled to put up zeros. Think about the gutty performance by the offense tonight. Down 7-1 after an inning and a half. They came back to tie it up at 8.
Crazy game tonight here, Coors.
Yeah,
no
I mean,
question about it.
The Rockies have scored in every inning but the 6th. And they're down by 4 runs. I keep coming back to that because it's unbelievable. But then again, the Mets have scored in every inning but 2, the 3rd and the 5th. And one of those nights. We've seen him here through the years, but more often than not, if you add up all the
pre-humidor though.
Yeah, when you add up all the nights where there were crooked scores, the Rockies won most of those, or more than half of those. But this year they've been under 500 at home. The Mets haven't been a good road team. They've been a great home team. 42-21 at Citi Field. Out on the road, 22-35. In fact, that's the biggest percentage differential in baseball between winning percentage at home and winning percentage on the road. Two strikes on Darno. Missed.
Yeah, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, elevated up in the zone, tried to get him to chase, didn't happen. Yeah, he tried a little bit of everything.
So the longer this inning lasts, the greater the likelihood is that Cespedes will get another at bat. He's got 15 total bases tonight. Swung on and missed, 2 outs. I'll bring up Michael Conforto. Hit a home run his last time up. A little more research on the 4 home run ball game. Cespedes with 3 tonight. 2 guys who've hit 4 home runs in a game were on the losing team. Ed Delahanty back in 1896, but far more recently, Bob Horner, when he hit his 4 for the Braves against the Expos in '86, the Expos won the game 11-8.
Expos were pretty good, but yeah, that's crazy, huh?
Ball 1 on Conforto. They really have high hopes for Michael Conforto. Big, strong kid who figures it out. They think he's going to hit a fair number of home runs. Michael Kadire, we saw pinch hit last inning's a big fan. Actually, this inning, pinch hit. Only feels like last inning.
Yes, it does.
Here's Cuddy.
Playing fantasy baseball, MLB.TV serves up real-time highlights, pitch tracking, info if you're out-of-market fantasy players, live or on demand on over 400 devices. So sign up for that at MLB.TV. You know, it's starting out a pretty good crowd here. The game's starting to get a little bit out of hand, and the faithful are still here. 31,079 attended the ball game here at Coors Field tonight. He looked at me like I was guessing.
One and 2 on Conforto. 2 Mets on. Flores at second, Johnson at first. And a ground ball to Paulson. That'll end the inning. In the inning, though, Cespedes struck again. He had a base hit, stolen base, would score on a double by Flores. 13-9 Mets. Now at Southwest.com by Mike Shaw Subaru. Always our lowest price in sales and service guaranteed, and by Saratoga Casino. So new, so you. (13-9) the Mets leading in wild one at Coors Field. Bottom of the 8th inning. Rockies have 6 outs to work with on the offensive side. And Juan Lagares, who last year won a Gold Glove in center field, pushes Jonas Cespedes to left. Michael Conforto comes out of the ballgame. Granderson remains in right field. And Tyler Clifford is now in the ballgame, the 8th inning man, the new 8th inning man for the Mets. Came from Oakland at the trade deadline. Pinch hitting is Matt McBride, 9-1-2.
12 games he's appeared in so far. Low ball strikes, or good curveball, good slider. Got a barrel high front side, makes it deceptive to the hitter at home plate.
.28 combined hits in the game. This is in the air to center. Baseball will always find the new guy out there. 1 out. Garris makes the catch. Well, everybody gets tacos tomorrow. The fans have scored 9 tonight. It's 2 more than necessary. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell location between 4 and 6 tomorrow evening to get your Rockies taco special. La Masa Taco Bell. Guy wearing a Cuddy jersey from his 3 years in a Rockies uniform. Blackman tonight, single and a double in 4 opportunities. Charlie's average at the 2 for 4, sitting at 289. Game number 120 this evening. Not slammed, but foul. Rafael Betancourt will be next. Scoring in New York against that Mets pitching staff was a big issue. The Rockies swept in the 4-game series, scored only 5 runs. Tonight, scoring hasn't been an issue. Preventing runs has been the issue. 9 runs, 13 hits for the Rockies. They've given up 13 on 15 hits. Outside, 2-2 on Black. Excuse me, 3-1 on Black. Ball 4, so Charlie reaches with 1 out.
Clippard threw both hands out to the side, looked in like, where's that got to be? Looks up 92 miles an hour, check the velocity of the pitch. He realizes in a 4-run game it can happen quick, particularly get in the middle of this lineup.
Jose Reyes 0 for 4. But the fly ball's ground out and a strikeout. Gilmartin and Friedrich, the pitchers of record. Give Blackman that kind of lead. I'm surprised at that.
Well, he's playing in between him and a bag.
I know it's a 4-run deficit, but if you want to keep the double play in order.
Hey, watch Murph, what he's doing. He's taking a couple strides with Charlie, and he's taking a stride back just to pull him back a little bit. He's kind of working it back and forth. He wants to make the snap throw over. The problem is, Murph's getting out, he jumped on the bag. The problem is he's coming off quick. Charlie could steal that one easy.
Yeah. Second stolen base for Blackman.
33 on the year.
Yeah. I didn't understand that strategy.
Well, they got a left-handed hitter up in case Jose whips his changeup down the line again. They got to come on the bag, off the bag. Charlie just took a big lead and win.
The way I look at it, George, is, and we've seen a million games here. Jose throws out a base hit. It's a 3-run game. Even if the Rockies do nothing else in the inning, it makes it that more, I don't know about likely, but more possible that you produce a rally. The next thing you're just giving a run away.
I've never been a fan of not holding guys on anyway. I don't care if it's 18-0.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pitcher's ERA. You're just giving away. That's what I don't like about it. I'd rather let the guy get the base hit to the right side if that's what he does to beat me.
This is the shortstop, Flores. Throws out Reyes.
You know what I'm saying? How many times you've seen a guy get on in the 9th, it's an 8-run game or whatever. They don't hold him on. He jogs into second. Difference, defensive indifference. Base hit, he scores. Yeah, it doesn't hurt anything because now it's a 6-run game, but it's a pitcher's ERA. Hold the guy on. Now the guy hits the ground ball. Maybe it doesn't get through it.
Cargo tonight, a home run in the first, a single and a run scored in the third, a walk and a run scored in the fourth. He struck out swinging in the sixth. 2 for 3. 3 runs scored tonight. The RBI in the first on the home run, his 70th of the year. Nolan Arenado, a 4 RBI night, including a 3-run home run in the fourth. Nolan now leads the National League with 91 RBIs. Well, in fairness to Paul Goldschmidt, I got to check what he did. Arizona won tonight 6-3 over Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'll tell you here really quick. Who they play tonight? Cincinnati. Mr. Goldschmidt did not have an RBI. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He left 2 on base.
Might have to send him down. Yeah. Get him straightened out.
Send him back to Texas State.
1-2. Nolan with the home run earlier is 30th of the year. The last Rocky to hit 30 or more in a season, the guy at the plate, Fargo, with 34 and a batting title in 2010. Ball gets away. They'll complete it at first base. So we'll go to the ninth inning. Blackman left at third, 13-9 New York.
For the Toyota postgame show out here in center field. Here's what we have for you tonight. A little bit of a gray area. John Gray made the start, and in the second inning it didn't go his way. He came out after having given up 7 runs. 30-something. How about Nolan Arenado with home run number 30? Drew was just mentioning it. And a Cespedes for the rest of us. Yeah, the Seinfeld, you know Festivus. Well, it's been a big night for Yoenis Cespedes of the Mets. 3 home runs, career numbers for him tonight. We'll talk about it all on the Toyota postgame show. Let's go back up to the booth and Drew and George, guys.
Mark, much appreciated. Rafael Betancourt will be the 5th pitcher out of the bullpen tonight, 6th overall. John Gray again just went 1 2/3. Tough night for John. 7 runs, 8 hits. Bergman pitched well. He pitched the best of anybody that's thrown tonight. 3 1/3. He gave up just a run on 2 hits. And had the Rockies got the benefit of a replay call, he may have been on the plus side for a moment. But again, Christian Bergman threw the ball well. Christian Friedrich in inning gave up 2 runs on a hit. Gonzalez Germain gave up a couple of home runs. He gave up 2 runs in an inning. Tommy Kahnle, who threw the 8th inning, gave up a run on a couple of hits and walked a guy. And now it'll be Betancourt's turn as you look at Christian Bergman. It'll be Juan Uribe, Curtis Granderson, Daniel Murphy. If anybody reaches Yoenis Cespedes, who's 5 for 5 with 3 home runs, would come up. Here's Uribe, who always fits in wherever he is. He's a positive, happy-go-lucky presence to the clubhouse, and also a fierce competitiveness, and a guy that's been there, done that. A lot of different clubs. A lot of different good clubs, too. Giants and Dodgers most notably. Former Rocky, of course. 1 ball, 1 strike. Uribe playing a lot of third base, not in the starting lineup tonight. David Wright due back Monday, but everybody with the Mets organization, as Juan throws out a hit to left, and that's going to make its way to the wall. And for Uribe, he'll cruise to second with a double. To finish that statement, everybody with the Mets, and they're not afraid to make this statement, because I think David Wright would make this statement also. David hasn't played since, I believe, April 14th. You have no idea what you're going to get from him when he comes back. Well, you don't, and I think that's the one thing about it. When a player has been hurt, you can go down and play in Florida State League. You can go and play a couple of games in AAA, but it's not the same. And the last thing David Wright wants to do, I mean, he wants to be a part of this. He wants to help them win and do all that.
because it's been a long time since he's been there that they haven't been. But he also is not going to disrupt what's going on either. If he's not ready to play, I mean, I know they're getting excited. The problem with the media and the fans a lot of times, they want to remember the guy from 6 years ago where he hit 24 home runs, drove in 100. It's not the same guy like Chase Utley. They want to remember him the way he was 3 or 4 years ago, and it's not the same guy.
And by the way, the Dodgers first game with Chase Utley, he's hitting right behind Jimmy Rollins like old times. Top two in the lineup, and they get no hit tonight. Granderson drives this ball to deep center field, and it is run down out there by Blackman. What a great catch, tagging and moving up 90 feet is Uribe. I didn't think he was going to be able to get there off the bat. Wonderful catch by Chuck Nasty. 1 out.
It's all about getting a break on the ball, starting on the shortstop side of second, so you can just visualize the run Charlie had to get to and reach up and have the timing to be able to get to that baseball.
Daniel Murphy with the infield in. Cespedes on deck. You're talking about David Wright. I was saying you don't know what you're going to get. Well, Michael Kadire was a big offseason acquisition. And, you know, with all of the injuries for Michael this year, he hasn't had the kind of year offensively that we're accustomed to, that he's accustomed to. Terry Collins said, listen, you know, we're going to play Michael, you know, plenty, but nothing's given just because of, you know, the name on the back of the jersey. And Michael's fine with that. Just same thing as, you know, David Wright will be fine with it. It's about the team first, and obviously Kadire's always been the consummate team player, but stuff changes in the midst of a season, and certainly in the midst of a division chase, which the Mets are in with Washington in the East. Here's the 0-2. The way Uribe swung the bat, like you're just going to bury him.
Can't do it. What it does, though, it gives you a lot of weapons on your bench.
Oh, it sure does.
When you think when that roster expands in September, and they got 3 with the Yankees, they got 6 with the Washington Nationals. You got to play Philadelphia, who's got some young kids that are scary. They can sneak up on you. You got Pittsburgh over that span. So, I mean, they've got some teams they got to go play, but when that roster expands, the only thing that's kind of hurt a little bit in now is that the minor league season doesn't end until September the 7th. So if your club's in the playoffs, I understand I need the players. How do you substitute them? There's a fine line there. If you're stripping out a club and sending some guys up from rookie ball just to finish out a season for somebody.
More teams I've found the last few years, George, are judicious in who they bring up. It's not a free-for-all, and we're going to, you know, add 10 guys because we can.
But the problem, you don't look, you know, again.
2-2. That's in the air to Cargo. He's going to air it out, but coming home is Uribe with the 14th Mets run tonight. Sac fly for Murphy, his 48th RBI. I think all Met fans were hoping that he walked somehow, and Cespedes would come up with 2 men on, an opportunity to hit a 3-run home run, which would have been his 4th home run, and it would be the first time that there was a home run cycle. 6th at bat for Cespedes. Double, grand slam, solo home run, 2-run home run, single, stolen base, run scored. 5 for 5, driven in 7. He scored 5 runs. Call mom after the game.
Exactly.
Betancourt misses, ball 1. ball, 1 strike. Cespedes typically is not a guy that takes a small hack or a. Let me see if I can punch the ball the other way. He takes a big old hack. And he did in his last at bat, certainly, and he's going to do it in this at bat also. He's going to let it all air out.
Well, the thing about it, it's a controlled power swing. You don't see, like, that's a very good power swing. You don't see him fall all over the place.
No.
You don't see the Reggie Jackson back leg. You don't see him falling down on one knee. It's a very controlled swing. It's like a power drive from a golfer that just keep it all together. I'll spin a little slider to get him out of the rough.
Betancourt ahead. 1-2 on Yoenis Cespedes. This ball driven to right center field. Cargo is going to get there. And even that one was a rocket. Let's pick off another run. 14-9 they lead. Five-run lead. The Mets closers on. Jeurys Familia, 57th appearance, one of the more dominant closers in baseball.
Yeah, you see a 97-mile-an-hour sinker, you see the cutter, and you see the number of opportunities. 33 of 38, 185 earned run average, a strikeout per inning. He doesn't walk people. 15 out of those nearly 60 innings thrown. You'll get Nolan Arenado, followed by Paulson and LeMahieu.
Arenado's had a big night. Popped up in his first at bat, then doubled in a run. Hit a 3-run home run that made the score 8-7 New York at the time he hit it in the 4th. And he doubled and scored in the 7th. 3 extra base hits and 4 at bats tonight for the Rockies' outstanding third baseman. The home run earlier was his 30th of the year with the 4 RBIs. He's the National League leader again in ribbies with 91. He's on his way to a 100 RBI season. The Rockies haven't had a 100 RBI season since 2011. Arenado, Paulson, LeMahieu against Jeurys Familia. Slider for a strike.
There's that hard sinker. I mean, it's hard. Velocity, 96. It's all the grip on a baseball is all it is, but that's some arm strength throwing that thing out there.
He'll run it up 98 or so. That was 97. I remember, it wasn't all that long ago, you see a 97 flash on the board and you were saying, is that right? Did they get that right? Now about 80% of the guys are rolled out on the mound are 97, 98.
Out of the bullpen particularly.
Yeah.
And some guys end up with numbers like this and other guys end up not so good.
This ball's well hit to right, and Granderson almost misjudged it.
Yeah, he almost played that into a bad play.
Hard out. Ben Paulson, a home run back in the second. Ben 1 for 4. According to ESPN, today's just the 7th day in Major League history that a no-hitter was thrown, and somewhere else in baseball a player hit 3 home runs in a game. It's happened 3 times this year. How about that? And again, Mike Fiers, a no-hitter tonight for the Houston Astros. Just came over from Milwaukee recently. He no-hit the Dodgers in Chase Utley's debut in a Dodger uniform. Here in Denver, Yoenis Cespedes 5 for 6, 3 home runs, driven in 7. Oh, 2. Ball sharply hit, and nice pickup by Murphy at first, and he flips to Familia. There are 2 outs.
That was a very nice pickup at first, not easily done at all. But they changed everything around when they started double switching, put the better defensive ball club out on the field, and he was able to make it. Murph was, and then a flip for Familia in the out.
Here's something else Cespedes has done tonight. He's one of 3 players all time to hit 3 home runs in a game, drive in at least 7, and also have a stolen base. Guy you faced, George, became a good friend of yours, Willie Stargell. The late Willie Stargell did it in '68. Carl Reynolds with the White Sox in 1930. It's hard to steal bases when you're jogging around the bases, right?
Yeah. I went over before the ball game with visiting with a former teammate of mine, Keith Hernandez, and I said, so how many do you think, he goes, how many do you think Stargell would hit here? How many do you think Parker would hit here? Not as many as Randy Bass hit here. What Bass hit here? 55 when he was with the Denver Bears. Went over to Japan, won the batting title, hit tremendous amount of home runs over there. He's now a senator in Lawton, Oklahoma.
He was a huge star in Japan.
Still is.
1 ball, 1 strike on LeMahieu. 1 and 2. Does he still go over there and do autograph shows, that sort of thing?
Yes, he does. Now, once every 2 or 3 years he does it. I thought he was going to hit the Stallion in Old Mile High about 6 times.
1-2. Swung on and missed, and that's the ball game. The end of a crazy affair, and the Mets prevail. It's their 9th consecutive win against the Rockies. 14-9 is the final. That man, the big star this evening, a night he will never forget. 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. These are Jimmy John's provider of the delivery of the game. Cespedes a grand slam against John Gray early on, and he'd go on to hit a 2-run home run, a solo home run as well. Threw out a double and a single, 7 RBIs, and also that stolen base for good measure. Historic night for Yoenis Cespedes. 14-9 is the final. Let's get it to our set in center field. Here's Mark Stout. Mark?
Yes, Drew, the Rockies have had problems with the Metropolitans, haven't they, Smith?
They have. That's 9 straight. But what's crazy is just how big John Gray's ERA ballooned tonight. Went up to 5.94.
We'll talk about that coming up here on the Toyota postgame show. Hope you'll join us.